Here was his blunt response regarding taking the IRGC off the State Department's foreign terrorist organizations list.
Are you committed to keep the IRGC on the foreign terrorist organization list, even if that means that kills the deal?
Yes.
Now, it doesn't matter how hawkish Biden's answers might be, because the leadership in Israel, the leader of Israel, not happy about this, okay? He would like to see more. So let's talk about Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid, who immediately contradicted Biden after Biden said, quote, "I made it absolutely clear, we will not, let me say again, we will not allow Iran to acquire nuclear weapons." And he followed that with, "I continue to believe diplomacy is the best way to achieve this outcome." Lapid not interested in the diplomacy aspect of this. He wants a much more hawkish military approach. And he says, quote, "Words will not stop them, Mr. President. Diplomacy will not stop them," he said. "The only way to stop them is to put a credible military threat on the table." Well, good luck to you. The United States should not be involved in that. You want us to fight your war? By the way, you're escalating for no reason. So I'm supposed to work as hard as I do. All these Americans all across this country have to work as hard as they do to fund Israel's war against Iran when there is a diplomatic solution. Not interested, not interested.
Yeah, so Biden, of course, is a weak loser. So he goes and kisses Lapid's ass and says, okay, I'll try to start the war for you. I promise, I promise. Now, you might say, oh, well, that seems strong. Cenk, what do you mean try to start a war? Do you know that the Revolutionary Guard being on the terrorist list, you know who did that? Donald Trump. Why would you continue Donald Trump's policies? I thought we voted against Donald Trump, right? And do you know that that group already has tons of sanctions on it? Putting it on the terrorist watch list only adds a little bit of extra sanctions on it. It's mainly symbolic. It actually, so he's saying, I'm willing to go to war, and if they have nukes, I'm willing to attack them and maybe have a nuclear war over a symbolic thing that doesn't mean a goddamn thing that Trump put into place.
Yeah.
Okay, why? To satisfy his boss, the Israeli prime minister. And what does the Israeli prime minister do? Back of his hand. He goes,
not good enough.
You weak loser, you gave me everything I wanted. Get back in there and do what I told you. Start the war already. Oh, by the way, are you gonna join us, Israel, in the war? Oh, no. We're gonna keep our citizens safe. We're gonna get you moron Americans to fight our war for us. And pay for the war too.
And pay for it after, I mean, tens of billions of dollars under the Obama administration provided to Israel for their military funding. And that's on top of the yearly foreign aid we provide to Israel, which, by the way, provides universal health care for their people. We are unable to do that here in the United States somehow, but we can fund that in another country. Great, that's awesome.
Why do we have to do it for you? I just asked the goddamn question. Why do we have to do it for you? Why don't you start your own war? I mean, you're pretty good at it. Notice though, they like to pick on defenseless people. The Palestinians don't have almost any weapons at all. They can't control their own borders. They have nothing. So every once in a while, Israel will go and bomb the living crap out of them, kill thousands of citizens, and then they'll shoot and murder doctors and reporters. But Iran actually does have conventional weapons. And that could actually hurt Israel. So they're like, no, we don't want any piece of that. We want America to fight that war. Bunch of suckers that we totally control. Now, to be fair though, there was terrorism involved here. There was terrorism. Several of the Revolutionary Guard were assassinated, just shot, killed, dead cold in the streets. Oh, but Israel did that. Is Israel on the terrorist watch list? They assassinate civilian physicists in Iran, professors. They murdered an Iranian professor who was a civilian in front of his kids as he was picking up the kids from the kindergarten class. But Israel's not on the terrorist watch list. They just murdered Shireen Abu Akleh, one of the most renowned journalists in the Middle East. They shot her in the head and they murdered her.
Yep.
Even CNN acknowledges it. Is the Israeli Defense Force on the terrorist watch list? Oh, no, in Washington, these are unacceptable questions.
آنچه در مورد ما میگویند